Let me just start off by saying this. I love Godzilla. I love King Kong. So the sheer idea of this shared universe that contains Godzilla and King Kong, leading up to a big, epic clash between them. One of the most epic rematches, potentially, ever. Yeah, I'm hyped. All the more reason why I think this movie needs to be delayed. Hear me out. Godzilla vs. Kong is my absolute most anticipated movie of the entire year. Of course, there's other movies I'm extremely excited for, but when it comes to sheer curiosity and excitement, it's Godzilla vs. Kong. Because so far, I think the MonsterVerse, it's been pretty solid. Like, honestly, probably the best we could have asked for when it comes to a shared universe of these classic icons of cinema. In every installment, the monsters have been executed damn near perfectly. Godzilla in 2014, those are still some of the best trailers I have ever seen. I think the movie's incredibly uneven, and looking back, it doesn't hold up as much, unfortunately, but it was still a solid attempt at reintroducing Godzilla to audiences, especially after this piece of shit, which I still love with all my heart. It was my first Godzilla movie, leave me alone. Kong Skull Island. I never knew I wanted a King Kong movie mixed with a Vietnam War movie, but my god, I'm glad this movie exists. It's really dumb and the characters are as one-dimensional as you can be, except Sam Jackson. Sam Jackson kills it in that movie. So when it came to reintroducing King Kong, yeah, I think it did a serviceable job. And both of these movies were relatively big hits. Kong Skull Island actually managed to make a little bit more money than Godzilla, which I actually thought was kind of surprising. And when it came to Godzilla King of the Monsters, holy shit, I was excited. And coming out of the theater, I dug it. I thought this movie was awesome. Hearing the actual Godzilla theme, god, that was cool. Ghidorah was terrifying. Mothra was majestic and beautiful. Rodan was sinister. Again, the movie doesn't deliver in the character department, but how many Godzilla movies do? And again, the movie is not perfect. I seriously don't like how the action is always covered by dark lighting and severe weather conditions. Kong Skull Island gave us a pretty good idea for what that looks like, and it looks incredible. So out of all these three movies, King of the Monsters is honestly my favorite. Coming from a fan's perspective, I honestly don't have many issues with it. I mean, again, the characters are still shit, but when it comes to what I am expecting from a Godzilla movie, I was completely satisfied with it. So naturally, I'm psyched as hell for Godzilla vs. Kong. And yeah, I was kind of annoyed that it was pushed back from its initial March release date, which, yeah, whatever, it happens. And if they had to do some reshoots to do whatever they need to do to enhance the quality of the movie, yeah, sure. Whatever you gotta do to give us a good movie in the end. But then some unfortunate circumstances happened in the world that none of us were really prepared for. So Hollywood pretty much had to pump the brakes on the entire industry. The summer movie season was essentially canceled. Now we have movies like Tenet coming out pretty soon, which I'm very excited for, but all these major blockbusters that were either weeks or a couple months away from release all got pushed back. Now going back to Godzilla vs. Kong, that was pushed back from March to November. A few other movies have also taken slots in November, and unfortunately the month of November is becoming a little too crowded, I think. As far as competition, well, it now has to compete with Black Widow, 007, and a new Pixar movie. But when it comes to the general consumer at the movie theater, when they have a choice on what movie to go see, I kind of believe that general movie audiences that have the choice between Marvel, 007, and Pixar, I think Godzilla vs. Kong will get lost in the shuffle. I really do. And again, this is my most anticipated movie of the year. I want this movie to succeed more than anything, which is why I really think that this movie needs to be pushed back, perhaps to January or early February, perhaps, when it's a much quieter time slot, essentially. I want the MonsterVerse to continue because so far I think they've done an incredible job. The 2014 Godzilla movie is essentially what brought Godzilla back into the mainstream. So no matter your feelings on that movie, you still have to give it that credit that Godzilla, you could argue, has never been more popular than ever. It seems this movie is sticking to its November 2020 release date. And if I really like the movie, then yeah, I'm gonna go see it multiple times and support it any which way I can. But if this movie doesn't perform, then chances are this will be the final MonsterVerse movie. And even if it is, then we got a cool little saga that did a decent job at building up to one of the most anticipated rematches in cinema history. So whether this is a new beginning for the MonsterVerse or the final chapter of the MonsterVerse, it's been a hell of a ride. But regardless, I'll be there opening night, and again, if I really like it, then I'm gonna go see it multiple times. And yeah, I still can't wait regardless. And I could be dead wrong, and I want to be proven wrong in the end, because I really want this movie to succeed. But in the end, it's just speculation. But what do you guys think? Do you think this movie can still succeed with its current release date? Do you think it needs to be pushed back? Let me know in the comments. If you actually listened this far, thank you so much. We got more movie discussions and reviews coming your way. Thanks again.